reality recap.
Hi, Evelyn. Yes, I know you have the reunion. Yes, we have 2 more episodes. And then we have the reunion of
I look like the slay. I look like a mom. She was like, you the one that look like you got a high body count hair. I fell the fuck out, y'all.
Candace, has Deborah reached out to you to apologize after the episode aired showing Chris did not flirt with her?
She wouldn't dare. She would get eaten for breakfast.
Oh boy.
No, she's doubling down.
Why would you go meet with Ray J without talking to Princess or letting her know why? Like, she's trying to justify that she told her after the fact and not supposed to make it.
What do you think of your ex-husband Jim coming out and saying you did not try to stop him from suing Shannon and Cameron?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, if his memory is a little foggy about what transpired back then, that's okay. However, he did admit that I had nothing to do with the
Reality recap. Reality recap.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl V with Reality Recap here for another Tea Talk session. And today we are recapping this past Sunday's episode of Married to Medicine. We have the season finale next Sunday, followed by the reunion. I will make sure to drop the reunion trailer once it is available. Reunion looks are out. A lot of talk about some of the reunion looks, mainly Sweet Tea not shown in her best light. Maybe it was the picture that Bravo showed, or, she put up her own pictures. But take a look at the reunion looks. They are on my page. I posted them in my reel from my favorite to least favorite was my method there. So you guys take a look and let me know what you think. But we're going to go over this past Sunday's episode. I don't have too many thoughts because honestly, my patience is running a little thin with this season. And I think with Real Housewives of Atlanta returning, that just heightened my annoyance with Married to Medicine because the premiere to me of Real Housewives of Atlanta was so good. But Married to Medicine, the group is still at odds. I have some thoughts on that, so let's get into it. Also with Phaedra, we started the conversation with Jackie and Simone sitting down and Jackie discussing the conversation she had with Phaedra, where Phaedra said she would no longer be coming around the group. And the conversation to me seemed rehearsed. There were things that Jackie shared that maybe were cut out or edited out that we didn't see. But specifically, she talked about Apollo or being aware that Phaedra's aware or said it out of her own mouth that Apollo doesn't like to see her around other men. And Simone latched onto that to again say that Phaedra needs to take accountability for bringing Shaq on the trip if she's already aware that Apollo doesn't like to see her around or with other men. She holds responsibility in what happened on the trip. I'm going to say this again. I do think that it didn't seem like Phaedra had much issues with Apollo on the trip as she did with his bad built body wife. And it just seemed like she was aware and okay with Apollo showing up and being like, all right, we cool or whatever. But it wasn't necessary. The reason why Heavenly says she brought him on the trip was so that Sweet Tea and Quad and Dr. G could see how life can be a friendship after marriage. But we have to understand, Phaedra has never said she's good friends with Apollo or that they're great friends. They have a great co-parenting relationship. Quad and Dr. G does not have children together, so that makes absolutely no sense to me for that to be their example to look up to. Phaedra also made it clear that his bad built body wife was the one of probably many that he cheated on her with while they were married and she was pregnant with their child. So why in the hell would she want to be on vacation with these two? It was not known that bad built body wife was showing up And that's where the tension came in. And there was clearly no reason for Dr. Heavenly to invite her on the trip. It amazes me how Dr. Jackie never seems to call Heavenly out and make her accountable for the messy stuff that she does, other than them saying, "Oh, you invited both of them." Oh, she knows. So then I can say, wash my hands and my hands are clean because Phaedra knows that Apollo was coming on the trip. What she did was absolutely wrong. And Dr. Jackie wouldn't like it if the mistress that we saw her husband with in the airport was on the show. So again, that makes absolutely no sense. I don't think Phaedra holds any accountability in bringing Shaq on the trip. Whether Apollo and his bad built body wife know this man or not, she met him on a speed dating event. They hang out. They're still hanging out. She brought Shaq to the Real Housewives of Atlanta season premiere party. So they've been divorced 7 years. Whether he's upset or not, how about Apollo take accountability for why he's still upset if they've been divorced for 7 years and he's married to someone else that yet he's getting a divorce from, that the paperwork said that they've been separated way before this trip. So why was she even there to begin with? Or Apollo? He's not the model citizen for us to be saying this is the relationship, marriage, friendship you should look up to, nor is he a doctor work in a hospital or in a doctor's office, and neither did his bad built body wife. So all of that, you can miss me with it. Phaedra, I'm glad she's going over to Real Housewives of Atlanta, where they would not do such nonsense and then point the finger back at you. So I think she made the right decision. This ain't her group. It's those type of bitches against her. And I'm glad to see that she is going back to her home. Now, also on this episode, we saw Dr. Heavenly and Contessa fake makeup, because is that going to last? It didn't even last past the episode. And again, in that, why is it that Dr. Heavenly is telling Contessa that she needs to take accountability for the things she shared about her marriage? This is reality TV, right? So she shared the struggles in her marriage that Dr. Heavenly exploited on her YouTube channel. And you're supposed to be her friend, her good friend. You exploited on your YouTube channel saying how you felt that her husband was verbally abusive. She never said that. They had struggles in their marriage. They were working through it and they were being transparent about that on TV. So why is it that she has to take accountability? Well, in Dr. Heavenly's words, well, I told you if you going to keep talking about this stuff and don't leave him, then shut your mouth. No. That's not how it works. It's reality TV. She was sharing transparency of what they were going through. And Dr. Contessa's husband showed no signs of being verbally abusive from what we saw on the show. That was her interpretation and her foolishness that always she spits out on her YouTube channel. But yet, would you like it if we started digging and we started bringing up the women on the show that, they're saying that Dr. Daddy Damon has illegitimate children with? No. So stop playing with other people's marriages. I'm really, really, you can tell in my face and my tone, my patience is running real thin with these married to medicine mean girls. Outside of that, the rest of the episode was really, Contessa from a positive note, I will say. Before we get to Contessa and her event, which was a very positive event. She's a chair for diabetes, but Simone, I'm tending to agree with Portia saying that the reason she called her a mean girl or the meanest girl on Bravo is to get some attention because she ain't got much going on of a storyline. Because I'm tired of seeing her going over to that condo she bought for her two sons that they keep totally nasty. They seem to come out sorry. They ain't children. They're grown. They lazy and they doing everything for them. So that's the best of her storyline, is her going over there and again enforcing rules that she's not going to follow and kicking them out, and they're going to have to move back home and keep the condo clean. And they went over there and it was a damn pigsty. That's all we have going on with Dr. Simone. So I'm partial to what Portia said. When you ain't getting much camera time, you start coming for others, because Dr. Simone has not been a top topic of discussion other than what she had to say about Portia on Watch What Happens Live. Now catch that tea. Back to Dr. Contessa's event. She had her diabetes health fair where the doctor showed up to lend a hand in services, exams, all of the above, which I think, was a great, great event. I think, a lot of us have family members, friends affected by diabetes. So I thought it was a really dope event and kudos to her for that. And throughout the event, though, the common theme was really a divide of the group not wanting to choose between Quad and King and Sweet Tea and Greg. And it's becoming, well, Greg was our friend longer. We don't really know King like that. Quad has been around, so we're trying to accept King. Or what about if we could have a friendship with Sweet Tea and maybe outside of Dr. G until what's resolved with the pressing charges? Quad doesn't want King around because of these charges that are being pressed. It's the divide is making no sense to me. I actually just posted it just, a scheduled post I had to come out on my page is out now for you guys to take a look at when Quad and Dr. G were together. And Quad had the altercation with Lisa Nicole, where she threw water in her face. She smacked her across the face with the glass, and she had a few small scratches, yet she was wearing a huge bandage on the side of her face. Dr. G was sitting down with her, telling her, it's not that serious. It could have been worse. You weren't hurt that bad. Why would you want to, be in the hospital or file a silly police report against Lisa Nicole or press charges? So I ask you, why are we here again? Because King did not touch him. And Dr. G also has some accountability in that altercation. Some of you may agree, some of you not, but Dr. G stood up first. He was getting in his face at first, sitting back down, doing push-ups and foolishness. And on top of that, he was the one that set out his face that he told this man's woman to shut the fuck up. Any man in that position, especially with cameras in his face, are going to feel the need to defend their woman. Or we would be on the internet calling them punks and they're not macho enough and they're not tough enough. And it would be too civilized at that point for them to discuss it and settle it like men. Now you have Dr. G pressing charges for the simple fact of he wants to not have King or Quad filming on this show. So the divide that's being called is really draining me. Either step away or y'all figure it out as grown ass people that signed up to be on the show and film together. That's where I'm at with it. I've really have had enough of season 11 of Married to Medicine. I am high key, I was going to say low key, high key glad the season finale is next week. We can move on to the reunion. I'm praying that it's only 2 parts and not 3, and I can focus on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And that's my thoughts on the past episode of Married to Medicine. Hate it or love it. Those are my thoughts. So this will be up now on YouTube, guys. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will put the link to this video on Instagram and Facebook for you guys to click on and watch from there as well. And again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you do not miss any of my recaps. Now, like I say before I end my podcast shows, reality TV stars are humans too. Let's not forget that. Look out, set your alerts. Live Tea Talk session up next for the latest episode from Monday of Love and Hip Hop Miami. Y'all have a great day. It's your girl V with Reality Recap. Peace.